Hey guys, Ambience here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to beat the Freddy & Co preset on the custom night of Five Nights at Freddy's sister location. This preset relies on quick reflexes and memorization. Unlike Angry Ballet, there aren't really any cheat strategies here, you have to play the intended way. Luckily, with the right strategy, this preset is actually rather easy. This strategy is designed for very hard difficulty, but the same basic principles apply to easier difficulties. If you want to know what specifically changes for a certain difficulty, leave a comment below, and I'll reply to it with as much information as I can. As I haven't covered any of the characters featured in this preset yet, I'll do a quick rundown of their mechanics, then put everything together and tell you the optimal strategy. Alright, let's talk about Funtime Freddy first, as he's the most aggressive animatronic on this preset. Throughout the night, you're going to hear Freddy running back and forth and talking to you. Just like with Nightmare Foxy and FNaF 4, it's very important to remember which side Freddy is on. He won't move quite as often as Nightmare Foxy, but still several times an hour. Unlike Ballora, Freddy is actually visible on the cams, appearing in the closets. If Freddy's on the left, he'll be in cam 3. If he's on the right, he'll be in cam 4. While you can track Freddy through this method, I don't recommend it at all, as it wastes a lot of power and leaves you vulnerable to Foxy. It's much more rewarding to memorize his position by listening to his footsteps. A lot of newer players complain that they can't remember which side Freddy's on because they're paying attention to everything else, and there's actually a really easy fix for this. Whenever you hear Freddy move your mouse cursor to that side and leave it there. Not all the way over, just slightly pointing toward one side of the office. You'll see me demonstrating this throughout the night, and this is a really simple way to remember where Freddy is. If you're not using a mouse, just turn to one side of the office. You can also try repeating Freddy's location over and over, either in your head or out loud. If you hear Freddy run to the left side, just keep repeating left, 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 constantly, and vice versa. Freddy has a lot of voice lines, and you'll want to ignore all but 2 of these. They serve no purpose other than throwing you off. When you hear,
Bon, go get him!
Close the door on the same side as Freddy. However, if you hear,
Get ready for a surprise!
Close the opposite door. A few seconds later, you'll hear a weird popping noise, almost like Bonnet hitting the door. At this point, it's safe to open. If you want to save a bit of extra power, only close the door once the voice line has finished. That's about it for Freddy, so let's talk about Funtime Foxy next. Foxy hides behind the curtain in Cam 7 and functions very similarly to his original counterpart in FNaF 1. He has 5 stages: behind the curtain, peeking, standing outside the curtain, glaring into the camera, and gone. The goal is to keep Foxy from running and to conserve power. If Foxy ever does escape Cam 7, close the right door immediately and wait until you hear knocking. At this point, Foxy will reset. You can safely open the door as soon as the knocking starts, just like in FNaF 1. This will help conserve a bit of power. I recommend checking Foxy every 8 seconds on average during this preset. This should prevent him from moving at all and make things way easier for you. There's really not a lot to say about Foxy, just leave the camera on Cam 7 and check him frequently. Then there's Bonnet. After lowering the monitor, Bonnet has a chance to appear and run across the office from right to left. If she manages to get all the way across the screen, you'll be jump scared. Clicking on her nose will cause her to disappear. The key here is to get ahead of Bonnet instead of chasing her. If you're moving your mouse after Bonnet and desperately trying to catch her, you're probably going to miss, start panicking, and just keep missing. This is one of the most frustrating things in the entire game, and it's probably going to kill your motivation to keep playing. This is the reason why you never move all the way to one side of the screen when tracking Funtime Freddy. Try to keep your mouse at nose height and pretty close to the center. If you end up behind Bonnet, don't panic and just quickly move far ahead of her. That way, you never have to chase her, and you'll be in perfect position to boop the snoot. If you hear a high-pitched giggle, Bonnet has just spawned. Sometimes you can even notice Bonnet before dropping the monitor. If Bonnet spawns close enough to you, you can see a pink blur on the right side of the monitor. Bonnet can spawn twice in a row, so always be prepared to deal with her. Finally, there's Yenndo, or as his friends call him, the bane of my existence. Similar to Bonnet, he has a chance to appear when you lower the monitor. He spawns on the right side of the office and is barely visible from the left side. This is the other reason why you don't want to turn too far to the side. Just keep an eye on where he spawns whenever you drop the monitor. When he appears, he'll start draining oxygen rapidly and causing the room to go dark as a result. Flip the monitor back up as quickly as possible and he'll disappear. Like Bonnet, he's sometimes visible when the monitor's up, which is really helpful. Whenever you drop the monitor, the first thing you should do is check for Yenndo. If he's there, immediately flip the monitor up and down again. Unlike Bonnet, he can't spawn twice in a row, so don't worry about that. It's widely believed that Yenndo kills you when the oxygen is fully depleted, but this isn't actually true. He will attack approximately 2 seconds after appearing in this preset. The oxygen level has nothing to do with how quickly he attacks, it's all tied to his AI. Now that we know how to deal with each animatronic individually, let's put everything together. The entire night, you'll be listening for Funtime Freddy's footsteps and voice lines. Even when the camera is up and you're dealing with other animatronics, keep it in the back of your mind. Stay looking at one side of the office to remember which side he's on, but not too far. Remember which voice lines signal an attack, and ignore the rest. Respond accordingly as soon as the voice line ends, and open the door once Bonbon leaves. Leave the camera on cam 7 the entire night. There's no need to check any other cameras. Every 8 seconds, quickly raise and lower the monitor to stall Foxy's progress. I recommend running a stopwatch while playing so that you can easily tell when 8 seconds has passed. Otherwise, count the seconds off in your head. When you pull up the camera, you should look in the bottom right corner to try and see Bonnet or Yenndo. This will allow you to react quicker. When you drop the monitor, you should be ready to flip it right back up if you see Yenndo. Don't do it preemptively though, this gets out of control quickly if he's not there and can cause you to panic. You should also be prepared to get a head start on Bonnet and click her nose. If Yenndo and Bonnet appear at the same time, you should always prioritize Yenndo first. Flip the monitor up and down, then catch up with Bonnet. Remember to move ahead of her, not chase her. Always be listening for Freddy regardless of what's happening and respond accordingly, changing position or closing a door. Now for some backup strats. If Foxy does manage to escape, close the right door immediately and leave it shut until you hear banging. Once you do, it's safe to open it again. If you end up losing track of Freddy in the midst of the chaos, close both doors when he signals an attack. You should start tracking him again immediately though, and not make a habit of this. If you're running low on power and Foxy is behind the curtain or peeking, you can sit idle in the office for 30 to 45 seconds and try to wait until 6 AM. Remember to still listen for Freddy and close the door if you have to. Well, that's all for now. Just track Freddy, remember to check Foxy consistently, and don't panic. You should have no problem with this preset and earn another 4 stars on the custom night menu. You should get a cutscene right after this. I didn't because I ended up doing a second run of this preset with fewer mistakes and went with that one, but you guys should if this is your first playthrough. Hopefully I should return to a regular upload schedule very soon. The live stream on Friday took a lot of time and energy to make sure everything went smoothly, so I've been a little slow when it comes to working on videos recently. With that being said, thank you guys for watching this guide. I hope it helped you, and I will see you in the next one.